There's a perfectly legal and totally hidden robbery happening right now, and it's automatically draining your bank account. The wildest part is, you personally typed in your password and smiled as you agreed to let them take your money. You thought you were buying endless convenience, massive libraries of movies, and the latest software. But what you haven't realized is this: Silicon Valley's tech giants are colluding to erase a basic human right that we've held for thousands of years. This right is very simple. When you buy something, it's yours forever. We call it ownership. They're no longer satisfied with just selling you stuff. What they want is to attach themselves to your account forever, like a blood-sucking leech. Welcome to the crazy era of everything is a subscription. And you're already signed up. To see the true faces of these tech giants, we need to go back to the good old days. Back then, the logic of business was incredibly simple, just like a 5-year-old buying candy. You hand over the cash, and you get the goods. You spend $50 on a game disc, and that disc is yours forever. You can play it for the rest of your life, lend it to your friends, or even pass it down to your grandkids as a family heirloom. What you bought was absolute ownership. If we compare a product to a dairy cow, in the past, you bought the cow with a one-time payment. You brought it home, you fed it grass, and every single drop of milk it produced belonged to you. But when the internet boom peaked around 2012, Silicon Valley's tech giants stared at their wildly fluctuating earnings reports and fell into a full-blown panic because they discovered a fatal systemic flaw in the one-time sale model. If a product is too durable and users don't buy a new one for years, how is the company supposed to survive next year? Are they really going to take a huge risk to invent a brand new cow? To please Wall Street, they decided to completely rewrite the rules of business. They quietly sneaked into your backyard and forcefully dragged away the cow you had already bought. Then they handed you a highly futuristic, glowing, empty glass cup and said to you with a smile, "Dear user, buying a cow is just too much hassle. You even have to shovel the manure. Look how great this is. You just need to pay me a $10 milk subscription fee every month, and I guarantee your cup will have milk every single day. And if you're willing to pay $15 a month to upgrade to a Pro Max member, I'll even add some chocolate powder for you." Sounds very thoughtful and convenient, right? But hidden inside this is an incredibly deadly trap. If one day you lose your job or your credit card payment fails, boom! That glowing glass cup shatters instantly. The hundreds or thousands of dollars you paid before all go down the drain. Not only do you have no milk, but even the record of you paying for it vanishes into thin air. You are left with absolutely nothing. If you think this fleecing scheme only happens with virtual software, movies, or music, then you severely underestimate the bottom line of capital. They didn't stop at software. They've brought this exact scheme to the physical machines sitting on your desk. Take that dusty HP printer, for example. When you spent hard-earned cash to bring it home and subscribed to their so-called ink protection fee, one day you thought paying every month was a ripoff, so you decisively clicked Cancel Subscription. That is when the magic happened. You were shocked to find that even if the ink cartridge was still full of physical ink, the machine would instantly lock itself down. The printer seemed to sneer at you. Sorry, even though the ink is in your house, and even though the machine is yours, your subscription has expired. This half-full ink cartridge is now contraband, and you can't use a single drop. This isn't an isolated incident. It's been challenged in courts for violating consumer protection laws. This is not providing a service. This is digital hostage-taking, plain and simple. But that is not even the most insane part. The century-old luxury car maker, BMW, once rolled out a policy that made car owners worldwide explode with rage. A heated seats subscription service for $18 a month. Please use basic common sense to think about this. When you bought this car, the heating wires, the control modules, the cables inside the seats, the manufacturing costs of all these hardware components were already included in the tens of thousands of dollars you paid for the car. You already paid for this hardware in full. But BMW used their onboard software to ruthlessly lock that heating switch. You are sitting in a car you paid for, shivering in the freezing winter, while the car company CEO holds a remote control in the cloud saying, "Want to thaw your butt? Scan the QR code, $18 a month." This behavior is exactly like buying a hamburger. You already paid full price, but just as you open your mouth to take a bite, the cashier rushes over, covers your mouth, and says, "Sir, the chewing function requires an extra monthly fee to use." That's exactly what BMW did. You paid for the hamburger, but they locked you from taking a single bite. Whether it's locking your printer or freezing your butt, behind these utterly absurd operations stands the exact same mastermind. All right, let's take a deep breath. As adults, we need to figure one thing out. Why are companies all over the world, even those selling bicycles or cat food, now pushing subscriptions like crazy? Who is standing behind them cracking the whip? The answer is Wall Street, and an English abbreviation that makes every investor's eyes light up when they hear it. MRR, MRR, or monthly recurring revenue. In plain English, it's a fixed ATM that guarantees a company makes money every month, even if they do absolutely nothing and just sleep in bed. In Wall Street's capital game, there are two ways to make money. The first way is hunting. You sold 1 million copies of software this year and made $100 million. You are amazing. But investors will look at you coldly and say, "What about next year? If you don't have a good product next year, won't you starve to death?" The income from hunting is incredibly unstable. The second way is called a captive farm, which is MRR. If you fence in those 1 million users and make them pay $10 every month, then on the first day of the next month, you don't have to do a single thing. You could literally be sleeping in bed and your account will automatically go ding, $10 million deposited. The month after that, another 10 million. This is an absolutely predictable, endless money printing machine. Let me show you a real transformation myth that shocked Silicon Valley. The photo editing software giant behind Photoshop, Adobe. Before 2012, Adobe's business model was selling discs. A set of software sold for hundreds or even $1,000. A user would buy an old version, and as long as it worked fine, they wouldn't buy a new one for years. This made Adobe's revenue go up and down like a roller coaster. So in 2013, Adobe made a ruthlessly brutal decision. They completely stopped selling the buy-it-once version and forcefully transitioned everything to cloud subscriptions. At the time, countless designers protested furiously online, slamming Adobe as a greedy vampire. Because if you do the math, you'll realize, previously you spent $800 to use the software for 5 years. Now, you pay $50 a month. Over 5 years, you'll pay $3,000, nearly 4 times the original cost. But how did Wall Street react? After Adobe announced the full shift to subscriptions, capital flooded in like sharks smelling blood. Over the next 10 years, Adobe's stock price skyrocketed, growing nearly 20 times over. All the extra money you paid turned directly into their market cap. Why? Because the thing Wall Street cares about most is absolutely not how much money you made today, but your LTV under the subscription model. Lifetime value. In plain English, it's every single penny the company can squeeze out of you for as long as you stay subscribed. Under a subscription model, you are no longer a living, breathing human. You are a sponge on a financial report. As long as you don't cancel your subscription, they'll take their time, squeezing you dry, drop by drop. And to prevent you from escaping, they hide the cancel button in the deepest part of the menu. They use maze-like processes to discourage you. They even bet that once you link your credit card, you'll forget to cancel because you're too busy or too lazy. This even has a name: zombie subscriptions. They don't just make money when you use their product. They exploit human weakness to make money off your forgetfulness, while they are happily counting the money you forgot to cancel behind the scenes. On the surface, they still pretend to be looking out for you. Whenever tech giants roll out a new subscription, they always wrap it in an incredibly gorgeous excuse. We are providing you with continuous updates. We are lowering the barrier to entry. We are making your life more convenient. Is that really true? At first, when you only paid Netflix $10 a month, you thought it was paradise. Why don't you stop for a second right now and calculate exactly how much money are you spending on various subscriptions every month? You need to subscribe to watch shows, subscribe to listen to music, subscribe to store photos, subscribe for free shipping. You even have to subscribe to your office software, your photo editing tools, and even to watch the video playback of your own doorbell. This is called boiling a frog in warm water. These $5, $10 bills are like invisible leeches, densely attaching themselves to your bank card. When you check your bank statement at the end of the month, you will be terrified to discover that before you've even spent a dime on food or rent, hundreds of dollars have already been automatically drained by these invisible, blood-sucking pipes. My friends, we are unknowingly stepping into a terrifying era of digital feudalism. In medieval Europe, serfs had no land ownership. The land always belonged to the lords riding high horses. The serfs could only work hard on the lord's land and then hand over a massive chunk of their harvest as rent. As long as you didn't pay the rent, you would be kicked out with absolutely nothing. And today, history is repeating itself in a highly technological way. We are losing ownership over every single tool in our lives. The software you use to edit videos and make a living is rented. The car features you use to pick up your kids are rented. Your hard-earned game saves and the photos in the cloud documenting your life's moments are all sitting on someone else's servers. Silicon Valley's tech giants are the digital lords of the new era. And we are the digital serfs who handed over our credit card passwords. You've probably heard this hugely controversial line from the World Economic Forum. In the future, you will own nothing and you will be happy. They have achieved the first half. The giants are taking away our ownership. But what about the second half? Are you really happy? Or do you just feel a deep sense of anxiety and powerlessness, knowing your access could get cut off at any second? From the legal robbery you personally authorized, to the complete disappearance of ownership. The essence of everything is a subscription has always been capital's quiet, legal, permanent looting of ordinary people's wealth. If this game is not broken, our children and grandchildren might not even know what it feels like to buy something anymore. Here is Civilization Unmasked. We don't teach you to dream. We only show you the true cards of capital. First, drop a number in the comments. How much do you spend on subscriptions every month? Just the number, no extra details needed. And then tell me, what's the most ridiculous, scammiest subscription you've ever had? I will personally reply in the comments. To the friends who have been scammed the hardest. If this video ripped off the tech giants' hypocritical masks and opened your eyes to what's really going on, please smash that like button without hesitation and subscribe to us. Oh, by the way, subscribing to our channel is 100% free. No traps, no hidden fees, no fine print. Ever. See you next time.